call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Ach so, ja, sie wollte gerade einen Krankenwagen rufen, also sich den Krankenwagen rufen, aber nee, denkt sich so, I don't give a fuck, lauf hier einmal weg, geh zur Arbeit, nee, ist ja egal.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he might coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Nee, wir gehen lieber aufs Executive Bathroom. Bestes. Ach komm. Okay, ist abgesperrt. Wunderbar. Wir haben ja eh keinen Zutritt dazu, weil wir einfach so einen unteren. Wir sind ja die unterste Schicht hier in der Firma. Tastendrücker. Schlimm. Wir haben nicht mal Toiletten unten. Unsere Toiletten sind einfach die Büros. Wir kacken einfach so in der Ecke. So einfach ist es.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly...
Ja genau, ich kann das gar nicht wissen. Da gebe ich einfach was ganz anderes ein. Ich dachte gerade, es wäre richtig, was grün aufgeblinkt hat.
Stanley simply began entering random codes into the keypad, knowing full well the sheer statistical unlikelihood that this would ever result in a correct combination.
Ich kann es ja nicht wissen.
If the combo was 2845, it would be another story entirely.
Wie es mir reindrücken will.
No, this is what he was given. 2845.
Okay, 6, 4, 7, 2. Ich habe keine Ahnung, was der Code ist. Vielleicht ist ja 1, 2, 3, 4.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all once.
Was?
And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Also, okay, merkt euch, wenn ihr mal so ein Safe oder irgendwas habt und dann hier so eine Kombination, die eigentlich keiner wissen sollte, weil ja Sachen drin sind, die anderen nichts angehen, dann einfach immer irgendwelche Sachen eingeben und dann öffnet sich der eh von automatisch. Das ist bei der Bank genauso. So komme ich mein Geld auch immer.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Also, ich mag die Gegend hier überhaupt
Stanley
nicht.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Okay, also entweder gehen wir jetzt da lang, wo ich nicht lang will, oder wir gehen hier den Escape-Gang entlang, aber da will ich erst recht nicht lang gehen, so wie der aussieht, dann wissen wir uns einfach dahin. Es ist so dunkel und so gruselig. Ich will nach Hause. Ah, okay, okay. Okay, wir sind hier. Letztes Mal waren wir ja da oben. Oder? Nein, wir waren da oben. Genau. Der Adventure Line. Gefeuert, gefeuert. Bester Job.
Stanley's co-workers, the lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
So ist es.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible?
Nein.
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Ja.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Wo geht's hier lang? Schalten die Maschine. Ja, wir schalten sie ab, weil wir sind ja, es wäre ja ganz moralisch verwerflich, wenn wir jetzt das Zeug da anlassen würden. Ist eh kein Mensch mehr da, bei dem man bei dem man hier die Gedanken kontrollieren kann. Da machen wir es einfach aus.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won.
Irgendwann.
He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Okay, dann gehen wir mal endlich in die Freiheit. Oder es ist einfach wieder ein Traum oder Fake. Oder ich sterbe einfach wieder, weil ich irgendwo auf der Straße liege.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Und Stanley war glücklich. Er war so glücklich, dass er sich wieder in sein Büro vorfindet. Super geil. Ja, ich würde sagen, wir probieren gleich die anderen Möglichkeiten aus.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great.
Moment.
He thought to himself.
Das ist ein neuer Text.
What I've wanted all along.
Er weiß.
Got what I
Ja, genau.
wanted.
Er weiß, dass wir das wollten, frei zu sein. Und deshalb ändert sich auch der Text. Und er sagt es auch. Er weiß Bescheid. Er weiß immer noch Bescheid. Also das Spiel ist wirklich nie 100% resettet. Wir spawnen zwar immer wieder hinten, aber es ist wieder was verändert.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of
Nicht
disbelief,
gefeuert werden.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Erst geht's auf. Oh, deprimierende Worte. Das will ich gar nicht erst lesen. Also, ja genau. Also, bei mir auf dem Klo, da habe ich auch so einen Spiegel, bei dem man einfach nicht sehen kann, weil er einfach so dreckig ist. Und was auch wirklich ganz wichtig ist Zeitschriften über Toiletten auf Toiletten. Das ist, weil sonst, das ergibt ja keinen Sinn, sonst aufs Klo zu gehen. Oh nein, ein Aufzug. Mach mal hoch. Die flüstern meinen Namen in dem Aufzug. Da war schon wieder. Das ist der Autor. Also der Erzähler halt. Wie weit fährt denn der Aufzug? Ach so, ja, das ist der beste Aufzug der Welt. Damit fährst du einfach im gleichen Stockwerk. Er fährt überhaupt nicht, er vibriert nur. Moment, nee.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any
Ja, wir sind wieder geschockt.
What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk,
Ja genau, wir
pulling
suchen
books off
Dokumente.
the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an
Super
extra
geheime
secret
PIN-Nummer.
PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Genau, wir können das ja gar nicht wissen. Deshalb schauen wir jetzt hier noch ein bisschen im Raum um. Ob sich was verändert hat.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Nein. Gib mir einfach gar nichts mehr ein. Schaut doch nur hier rum. Das hat aber echt ein hohes Zimmer, also. Da hätten noch viele Büroeingestellte reingepasst. Ach so! Okay. Also, vorher war es schon übertrieben. Vorher war es schon übertrieben genug, dass, wenn ich das Falsche oft genug eingebe, dass es sich öffnet. Jetzt einfach öffnet sich das Teil einfach so. Wenn man gar nichts eingibt, dann geht es einfach auf. Ist ja logisch. Mein Safe öffnet sich auch einfach so. Wenn er gerade mal Bock hat. Oder ist da was?